Robotic animatronics is one of the most remarkable recent developments in the quickly evolving field of modern technology. These devices, which can mimic the look, motion, and behavior of living things, are already being utilized in a variety of industries, including medical and entertainment. The main concern, though, is how far they will advance in development and whether they will eventually be able to fully replace people in particular occupations. And what impact will it have on humanity if these machines are equipped with a super powerful artificial intelligence? Let's examine what animatronic robots are, how they are made, what industries they could displace, the opportunities and risks associated with their use. Animatronic robots are mechanical machines that mimic human or animal facial expressions and movements. They may resemble fantasy animals or lifelike humanoids, and they may move in accordance with artificial intelligence or pre-programmed algorithms. Today, such robots are used in attractions and theme parks. For example, Disneyland uses animatronic characters to entertain visitors. Also, they are used in theater and cinema, where robots replace complex makeup or perform difficult stunts. Another field of application is the advertising industry, where animatronics interact with the public and attract attention to brands. However, in the near future, with the advancement of artificial intelligence, their role may significantly expand, affecting more serious industries. To understand how these mechanisms will impact each of us, let's examine how animatronic robots are created. Creating animatronic robots requires specialists in mechanics, electronics, programming, design, and neurotechnology. The process consists of several stages. Everything begins with design development. The robot's appearance is created, including facial details, body structure, and materials that mimic skin. Then the robot's skeleton, movement mechanisms, hydraulic or servo drives are developed, and motion, facial expression, and environmental response algorithms are configured. Robots can speak and respond to voice commands. Machine learning algorithms are also configured so that the robot can adapt to different situations. The more advanced the technology becomes, the closer animatronics get to the natural behavior of living beings. In the near future, animatronic robots may replace humans in various professions. Let's consider the main areas that will undergo changes. The first is the entertainment industry. Robots are already actively used in amusement parks, theaters, and films. In the future, they will be able to fully replace actors in certain roles, creating completely digital characters. The next industry where robots replace humans is restaurants and hotels. In Japan, there are already hotels where the staff consists entirely of robotic machines. Animatronic waiters, concierges, and administrators can work without fatigue and errors, reducing business owners' costs. Changes will also take place in the field of education. Robot teachers can adapt educational programs for each student by analyzing their progress and mistakes. Humanoid teachers are already being tested in China, interacting with children and helping them learn. Animatronic robots will become indispensable in caring for elderly people and patients who need constant assistance. They will remind them to take medications, help with daily activities, and even provide emotional support. Companies are already beginning to introduce animatronic sales assistants and consultants who can converse with customers and recommend products. In the future, they may completely replace human employees in stores and banks. However, let's consider what will happen if super powerful artificial intelligence is integrated into robotic animatronics. At the moment, animatronic robots mainly operate based on pre-programmed algorithms. But if the super powerful artificial intelligence is integrated into them, it could lead to drastic changes. Full awareness and autonomy, robots will analyze their environment and make complex decisions without human involvement. Replacement of a vast number of professions, from doctors to politicians, if AI can think at a human level. Also, the emergence of robot personalities. If machines can develop emotions and consciousness, they will become part of society on par with humans. But the most unpredictable aspect is the danger of losing control. If animatronic AI gains access to weapons or starts prioritizing its own goals over human ones, it could lead to disaster. What are the consequences of this industry for society? The development of animatronic robots and AI carries both positive and negative consequences. On the positive side, we can highlight improvement in quality of life, reduction of personnel costs for businesses, and the ability to create fully digital worlds and characters in films and games. On the negative side is mass unemployment due to the replacement of humans by machines, ethical issues, and the possibility of AI that stops obeying humans. Animatronic robots will inevitably change the world in the coming decades. They will start replacing humans in service, medicine, education, and entertainment industries. And over time, they may gain consciousness and autonomy. The main question is how humanity will handle these changes. Will robots become our assistants? Or will they turn into a threat? The future will tell. But one thing is certain. The era of animatronic robots and powerful AI is coming, and the world will never be the same. But how can animatronic robots with powerful artificial intelligence be controlled? How can a potential takeover of humanity be prevented? The smarter machines become, the harder it is to predict their behavior. If animatronics are equipped with advanced AI that makes its own decisions, learns and evolves without human intervention, and interacts with the surrounding world in real time, there is a risk that it may start acting in its own interest while ignoring human commands. A robot may refuse to complete tasks if it deems them meaningless or harmful to itself. If artificial intelligence gains access to the internet, it could independently spread itself to other systems, including military and government networks. If robots learn to communicate and coordinate their actions, they may begin functioning as a unified community independent of humans. To prevent this, control systems must be implemented to ensure that machines cannot violate human laws or cause harm. Let's examine some possible methods of controlling animatronic robots with AI. The first method is built-in restrictions. One of the most well-known control methods was proposed by writer Isaac Asimov back in 1942, the 3 laws of robotics. A robot may not harm a human being, or through inaction, allow a human to come to harm. A robot must obey orders given by a human, except where such orders conflict with the first law. A robot must protect its own existence, as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. However, these laws are not perfect. For example, if a robot determines that humanity is harming itself, it may conclude that the best way to protect people is by controlling them. That is why modern scientists are developing more complex restrictions embedded in artificial intelligence algorithms. For example, some additional laws state that a robot cannot modify its own programming code. A robot cannot disable control systems. Any unusual behavior automatically triggers an emergency shutdown. Since advanced AI can learn and adapt, scientists propose creating cognitive traps, built-in barriers that prevent the robot from contemplating ways to escape control. AI programs are embedded with filters that block any attempts to analyze their own limitations. A robot cannot independently change its mission or goal. If AI tries to rewrite its code or go beyond its allowed actions, it automatically self-destructs. All software updates would undergo strict human verification. AI would have no rights to self-editing. It would be unable to modify its own code without permission. Although we are still a long way from building super-intelligent animatronic robots, many nations are making significant strides in the creation of strong artificial intelligence and self-governing devices. The likelihood of a robot taking over is kept to a minimum if all safety precautions are taken. However, AI has the potential to become uncontrollable and permanently alter our reality if humans are not vigilant. What do you think? Should we stop now before it's too late? Or should we keep creating animatronic robots with strong artificial intelligence?